AI is the future, right? But nobody's telling us how to make it our advantage, not the replacement. And to be entirely real with you, I was not a fan at first. I was spending hours messing with AI tools only to end up rewriting everything myself. This was frustrating because I knew there was a superpower in AI, but I just couldn't figure out how to unlock it. Sound familiar? I stuck with it though because I wanted to answer, how do we use AI to become more efficient grant writers without feeling like we're on this hamster wheel of just doing more? If you've wanted to know, how do I use AI without it sounding like AI? Is this ethical? What about privacy? If you've asked them and so many more, I also had to go get answers for them, and I'm glad you're here because today we're going to cover it. What I'm going to share with you is the AI Besties method, a simple, practical support system we created to help grant writers like you go from dabbling to AI to pro in 30 days or less. And no, you do not have to become a prompt engineer or spend thousands of dollars on overhyped software. I'm going to show you exactly what's working for our grant writers right now and how it can save you hours per proposal, keeping your voice intact and get you that time back for the work that matters the most. As the co-founder of the Grant Writers Collective, the #1 online community course and coaching program for grant writers, I honestly feel very responsible to spend the money, take the risks, and the time required to fully understand what does AI mean for grant writers. I had to get to the root of this. Is AI going to take our jobs? More on that later. How do grant writers use AI effectively? What about data privacy and security, copyright, preserving your creativity? And in my journey to answer those questions for you, I discovered 2 big traps that were keeping nonprofit professionals stuck. You don't know what you don't know. And this applies no matter where you are at in your AI journey. If you have not touched ChatGPT or any of the equivalent large language models yet, and you're kind of avoiding it, that's okay. You might be thinking, I don't even know where to start, or I'm not techie enough for this. Or maybe it's, I want to learn, but I don't have the time right now or knowing where to start. On the flip side, if you've been using AI for a while, you might be thinking, I'm pretty competent through a lot of good old-fashioned trial and error. Or you've taken a Udemy course, been to free webinars. Here's what I've seen over and over again. No matter where you land on this spectrum, whether you're brand new or you're an early adopter entrenched in it, most folks are still missing foundational skills. Things like, how do you give AI the right context? How do you structure your prompts? What success criteria does it even look like to be a grant writer, to train your AI? How do you make sure it sounds like you? Because here's the truth, AI cannot read your mind, and it definitely cannot understand your voice, your nonprofit, or your funder's unique nuances that you as a human know unless we show it how. Even if you've been using AI, you might still be getting vague robotic drafts or redoing half the work and not realizing how much more you could be doing than what everyone tells you, which is just solve the blank page problem. That's why this first trap is so sneaky. You don't know what you don't know, and that blind spot is costing you hours of time and dollar bills, thinking you need fancy grant-specific AI software. This one gets me fired up. There's so many people right now, especially the white tech bros, sorry guys, I gotta call you out, building custom AI tools for grant writers to democratize funding. And look, I can talk a little smack because I tried as well. And I partnered with AI engineers out of Canada, and we built Unicorn Copilot, our very own internal AI-powered software for grant writers. I worked directly with this awesome guy named Chris Bertulli, but he had 0 experience in grants, 0 experience in nonprofits, but the guy knew business and he knew AI. Chris and his team got to the point that AI was writing 40 complex grants per month with just 2 writers. They took 100-hour applications and got them down to 4 hours to complete with a 73% win rate. They made $750,000 in grant consulting revenue in their first year. And if you're listening to me and thinking, yeah, that confirms it, AI is taking our jobs, hold the phone. Because despite all of those wins, the guys ended up shutting that business down because of how manual and nuanced it really was to write grants. They were software dudes. They wanted to build a scalable software company. And the reality is that winning grants isn't just about following a paper process. It's about building relationships, strategy, nuance, heavy human coordination, project management. Through all of that, we decided to fold our own Unicorn Copilot software as well because of this one major takeaway. Virtually no one can out-innovate or spend OpenAI or Google, any of those other very well-funded large language learning models. Such a mouthful. I realized it's going to be way cheaper and way better for you in the long run for you to learn how to use the AI tool of your choice. Whether that is ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Perplexity or Microsoft Microsoft Copilot or some combo than anyone trying to build some grant writing packaged software for you and charging you a boatload. So if you've tried AI and you felt frustrated because you were not unlocking the promised land, then probably what was happening is you're missing some core foundational skills to use AI effectively and safely. That is what we focused on building inside the AI Besties method. It's not about turning you into some prompt engineer spending $300 a month on software that's glitchy. It's about the exact roadmap to get AI to write like you. Ensure it is actually saving your time and unlocking that full potential of what is possible for you and your organization. So here's the deal. We are officially out of the early adopter phase. When you think about the technology curve, perhaps from economics class, we're not there anymore. We're here. AI is just not a buzzword anymore. It's being rolled out. It's inside your Gmail, Microsoft Word, Google Drive. And whether you've realized it or not, in early 2025, we officially entered the mass adoption phase of this curve. And this is the part that nobody wants to hear. The window to learn how to use AI comfortably is closing. And I don't say that to scare you because that's not my vibe. I just say that so you don't miss this moment to learn how to work with AI when it's still a comfortable pace, not when your job is on the line. Because what feels optional right now will very, very soon, if not now, it is already the baseline expectation for professional work. If you're a working professional and you use a computer, knowing how to use AI effectively is going to be and is the new norm. Interestingly, grant writers in my online grant writing program, the Grant Writers Collective, they are rapidly and eagerly adopting AI no matter their age at a rate far faster than those of you that are not already in our ecosystem. We've been here before. We've learned and integrated new technology into your lives. I am a youngster, right? And I remember computer typing classes in the 6th grade and how to use Google search. Before you become a master at anything, baking, gardening, your job, you start by building foundational skills. And I urge you to do that now before that learning curve is just too steep to even climb. To give you a window into what I think is the single most important foundational skill for you to build, it is how to prompt. You've probably heard the term prompt engineering, and no, you don't need to become an engineer. Prompts are fundamentally instructions that AI can understand. Learning how to provide quality instructions is the single most transferable skill you can build right now, AI or otherwise, am I right? But whether you're writing grants, preparing a board meeting agenda, you're updating your strategic plan, or you're writing a donor appeal letter, prompt writing is the skill you've got to develop. And most people don't know how to do it very well. And they wonder why they get generic responses that sound like an AI wrote it. Let me show you one piece of it right now, totally for free. And it is our 6-step prompt framework. Most people are giving AI one-liners like, write a grant for this program. And then you find it just doesn't work. Don't do that. We need to break complex tasks down into smaller, simple tasks. And to do that, we need to think about these 6 key pieces of information your AI bestie needs to work well for you. And when I say AI bestie, I mean your AI. Role is number 1. Define who the AI is. For example, you are an experienced nonprofit grant writer because AI tools are trained to recognize and behave differently depending on the role we're giving them. It sets that tone. 2 is task. So this is what you want the AI to do. And if you do nothing else, you got to have tasks. Perhaps develop a grant narrative outline following the attached grant application instructions. Clear task, better results. Voila. A bonus tip is if you have something really complex, like a federal grant with 200-page NOFO, you're going to learn how to break that process down into smaller steps to build a narrative skeleton. Step 3, context. This is where you drop in background details. This is about the organization, the program, the funder, whatever is relevant. This is so freaking critical. Context is what makes the writing sound specific and grounded instead of using like vague fluff that it'll otherwise lean on. There's a lot of nuance here. You don't want to upload just any and all documents you can. Formatting matters, like using headers, which does tee me up perfectly for number 4, which is format. This is where you tell the AI what kind of output you want. Are we looking for a blog, a 1-paragraph summary, a poem, 2,000 characters response? And if you don't say, it's going to guess, and then it usually guesses wrong. Number 5 is an example. This is the secret weapon that a lot of times people don't take the time to provide. When you provide a great past project description or something you're really proud of, this shows the AI what good looks like, and it helps match your writing style. Number 6 are instructions. So this is where you lay down the law. This is one of my favorite things to do. I'll say, hey, ask me any questions you have before we get started. Or write at a 5th grade level, use short and concise sentences, whatever. These little constraints go a very long way toward matching that output that you want with your expectations. every chat you have with your AI besties does not require you to type in all 6 in the chat box. But on a minimum, you do need to have a task. And if you're finding that you're repeating yourself or you're getting frustrated, you need to go back to the basics and make sure you provided enough information following this 6-step prompting framework. Think about it this way. Would you hire an employee to work with you and give them one-line instructions and expect them to succeed? No, that would be very rude. You would give them examples. You would communicate how you want the work. You would take time to train them. Same for AI. When you really master the nuances of this, and let me assure you, the devil is in the details. My prompting 101 guide is straight up 15 pages long. But anyway, when you master that prompting and you really get it, you're going to go from meh results to work that thrills and energizes you. Now, if you're thinking, oh, that sounds like a lot of work. Oh, I get it. Man, I'm the same way when it comes to stuff like this. That's why we made templates for all of it. So you can just plug in your info and go. And when you get the hang of it, you're going to knock out a draft of a complex grant application in a few hours instead of a couple of days, and there will be no going back. Step 4, what does this actually look like in real life when it clicks? Let me introduce you to someone who's been there. Caroline, who I just had the pleasure of meeting in real life at our New York City meetup, came into the AI Besties course with a bit of experience using ChatGPT. She'd played around, she'd watched some videos, tried a few prompts, but every time it felt like she was starting from scratch, right? She was using those one-line prompts, crossing her fingers and hoping it'd work out. She wasn't using the projects feature. She wasn't working in Canvas. This is all referencing ChatGPT features, but the same things exist in other tools. She was not building custom anything. It was all just trial and error. And then after she took the AI Besties course, everything flipped. She said she learned how to train her GPTs to work with her brain, including the ADHD side. She set clear rules, she gave great context, and she started getting 95% done responses on the first try. She now has custom GPTs to do things like organize grant research and proposal drafts, drafting social posts, brainstorming content ideas, meal planning. I use it for that too. Even keeping wine tasting notes. And I love the point that Caroline made when she said, it's not just about moving faster, because I think that's a lot of times what people think, like it's just speed. It's about having workflows that reduce mental load so that you can preserve your energy for the work that matters most. As she put it, now that I built workflows around AI, I get to show up with my creativity intact because the heavy lifting is already done. Snaps. That's what we mean when we talk about getting your time and energy back. I am adamantly opposed to using AI to make us little machines that just do more. When used correctly, AI is about a fundamental shift to how you work and problem solve so that you have more space for strategy, for relationships, for what really moves the needle. And that's what's possible when AI becomes your bestie, not your nemesis. Okay, so if you're here, you know, AI is changing how grant writing works. The real question is, are you going to keep dabbling or are you going to go pro and get freaking good at it? That is exactly why we built the AI Besties grant writing course. This is not an AI 101 fluff course from Coursera. This is step-by-step, built by grant writers for grant writers, so you can use AI with confidence, efficiency, and integrity. We've spent 3 years and a lot of money and time figuring out what AI can and can't do for you so that you don't have to waste the time. You get the shortcut to go pro in 30 days. Inside this course, you're going to master prompt writing and build custom AI workflows that match your voice and how you work. You get to swipe our 4 ready-to-use AI besties. These are the 4 custom GPTs for grant writing, research, editing, and project management. You get to learn how to do things like scan a 200-page RFP in minutes and outline that narrative, get context templates, formatting tricks. The workflow automations are really fun, so you can save some time. Build a data privacy policy. We'll give you ours, and then earn your professional AI grant writing certificate to showcase your skills on LinkedIn and elsewhere. You're going to get 1-year access. There's 5 training modules. You get all 4 AI besties, prompting guide and template library, workflow automations, answer questions inside the course itself, and then bonus videos as we add them over time. A lot of times I'm actually filming these with students, with my grant writing unicorns, who are innovating constantly and doing really cool things. And of course, your official AI grant writing certificate. So the course is $569, pay in full, or 2 payments of half of that. This is the most inexpensive way, besides reading my book, I suppose, to get access to my brain at a fraction of the cost of what it took for us to get this ready for you. Let me be brutally honest about the real cost of not learning to use AI well. You're going to waste 100 plus hours this year doing things AI could have done for you. And then how much money are we leaving on the table? Remember Caroline from earlier? She's 30 days into her new nonprofit job, and they had the goal of her making $150K. Because of her AI prowess, she already has $500K in the pipeline. Not to be too blunt, but because I love you, I gotta say it. $569 is nothing if you're bypassed for a higher paid role, or worse, you lose the job because you're no longer professionally relevant. And then there's this invisible cost, burnout. trying to do it all. Most grant writing shops are 1 to 2 people. You're wearing a lot of other hats, I'm guessing. Decision fatigue kills creativity, and we all know how hard it is to write grants. And if you don't have that energy, you're not doing the work that really moves the needle. For $569, you're not just buying a course. You're building this $100,000 support team that's digitally in your pocket, that never calls in sick and doesn't require micromanagement. That's what makes this the most no-brainer investment you've made this year. You're going to go from I'm dabbling in AI to I actually know how to use it and work better with it, not harder. So to join us, you can get signed up at the link below, and within the hour, you can already have your very first custom GPT built and working for you. I have spoken with enough of you to know that there are 7 concerns keeping you from using AI fully, so we're just going to rapid fire hit those. And just so we're clear, if you're worried that AI is going to take your job, here's the real talk. And I can say this with conviction after being so entrenched in this. AI is not coming for the jobs that involve strategy, relationships, nuance, and ethical leadership. But it is coming for the parts of your job that you already resent. Repetitive formatting, deadline chasing, just the brain drain portion, the admin. Spoiler, you're already drowning in work. You need AI to take some of your jobs so you can actually do the parts that matter and do them better. We do not teach AI so you can become a robot. We teach it so you can stop feeling like one. That's what makes it worth learning now, not later. The future is going to reward those who can use AI as a thinking partner, not just as a text generator. With that, let's jump into the rest of the top questions and concerns I get. What if my AI sounds robotic, or if a funder can tell? We do not want that. You and I, we can all sniff AI writing from a mile away. It's actually why this course exists, because I want you to know how to prompt in a way that gets AI to reflect your voice, your funder style, and your nonprofit. What about data privacy? Cover that too. You're going to learn exactly what is and isn't safe to upload, how to set up boundaries, and you even get a sample data privacy policy to use within your organization or for your clients. I actually have a freebie on this as well where I give it away, so you can go find that on the website. I'm not techie. So this is one of the reasons I'm really excited about AI, because it actually levels the playing field for those that aren't super professional sounding or techie. I'm going to show you step by step how to develop your skills. And honestly, if you're watching this online right now, you're techie enough. This all still feels so overwhelming. Don't you get that feeling when you start a new grant application? I mean, it didn't matter how many grants I wrote. I still got that kind of anxious, tight chest feeling when I was starting something new before I got my arms around it. And AI, frankly, is the same. You can wing it, you can continue to be overwhelmed, or you can just get some professional training that breaks it down. What about the environmental impact? AI gives blockchain vibes. You're picturing a data farm, it's guzzling electricity. But once I dug into this more, I realized the environmental impact truthfully has been quite over-sensationalized by the media for clicks. For example, it would take 6,667 ChatGPT searches for the equivalent of 4 hot showers this year. My hot take on this is to look at how AI can reduce your footprint elsewhere, like streamlining your grant research so you're not printing hundreds of pages, or cutting down on unnecessary Zoom calls, all takes electricity, or eliminating late night office hours because of all the time you're saving. I already use AI. Do I really need this? I had a few members in the collective that they're super early and active adopters of AI, to the point that I was worried when they signed up for the course that maybe they won't get much from this. And they have all gushed about the gaps that our training has provided for them. Like, they love this course. Even if you think you're super pro, I would love for you to have a look. You don't need the stars to align. You don't need perfect time to start this. You just need to learn the foundational skills that make AI work for you, not the other way around. It is a small time commitment for quantum-sized results. The world is moving fast. Oh boy. Your to-do list, it is not getting shorter, but AI, when it's used well, will be your advantage, your creative collaborator, your time-saving sidekick, something you won't be able to imagine living and working without. And the AI Besties course, it is your roadmap. You can go pro with AI in 30 days. If this is resonating and you're nodding at least once during this training, feeling a tiny or massive pull that says, okay, it's time to actually figure this out, listen to that. Get signed up below. I can't wait to see what you build. If you're the kind of person that's like, yeah, but I don't want to do this alone, I want to do this in community, with coaching, with additional continued education on grant writing, then be sure to check us out for what we're really known for, which is the Grant Writers Collective. Whether you're an in-house nonprofit grant writer tasked with writing grants, or someone considering branching off to freelance for more time and location freedom, whatever it is, we have a curriculum track for you so that you can be building a life you love. You can check out more at our website, learngrantwriting.org, to learn more. I'll see you later.